Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Revenue Agency Podcast. My name is Brittany Hall, and I'm joined by my partner in crime and business and love, Ryan Hall, on the eve of our 16th anniversary, which is tomorrow. How about that?
There you go.
How about that? We have been not stuck. We've gotten out a little bit every day, but we are in the middle of a Texas winter, and the kids are going on day 4 of no school that they should have school. So 6 days in a row. So we are making it. But yeah. How you doing, Rye?
Well, um, it's great to spend time with the kids. You know, these days are precious. On the other hand, like we got to get back to some type of structure. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man.
I mean,
We
the kids are
actually
bored. We're bored. The
yeah.
dogs are frustrated. Like nobody knows what's going on in this house. It's been 4 snow days, 5 snow days. Four should have been school days,
Yeah.
and so we've been together for 6 days in a row. And man, we love those kids.
We sure do.
But we all have large personalities in this family,
There's
so
a lot of energy and a lot of
there's that.
talking and a lot of movement. And yeah, so it's been interesting this morning because it has been a week since I worked out. I just, when the snow first started, I was like, we're going to bake. And I was like, okay, I have to stop consuming so many calories. So we took our kids to the gym with us this morning, which was fun, which actually was interesting because it started this conversation between Ryan and I of, is it the most convenient thing, because they're not familiar or, whatever to take them with us? Not really. But we were having a conversation about how we need to, if we want to have our kids have certain habits, first we need to demonstrate them, right? We need to do those same things that we would expect them to do. But then also we need to be inconvenienced by taking them with us and doing the things to teach them. And, yeah, it's just, it's kind of interesting that awareness of like, oh, yeah, because if you just leave your kids at home all the time, they're never going to learn anything. And
Mhm.
getting out and doing things and being around different types of people and different atmospheres. And Ava went to a yoga class with me today. And so just like listening to that teaching and listening to the words and then having your body do what you think she's telling you to do, it's kind of an interesting mental thing. So that was interesting. And I don't know if I told you this, Ryan, but as we were doing yoga today, and I taught for years, for those of you who are listening that maybe don't know that, as I was a fitness instructor for years. So I'm always just instinctively now watching what everybody's doing in their form and how they're doing things. And so, my 13-year-old daughter's next to me who hasn't really ever done yoga, and she did a great job. But there was a few times where I was like, oh, why is she doing it like that? Or she needs to kind of move easier, or, this and that, or whatever. And I thought it's kind of an interesting thing to think about my mindset where I'm like thinking everything needs to be done correct and right and a certain way. But it's like, if there's something maybe where there's a form issue where it's like you're going to get hurt, correct it, or to help it be like a better posture for the whatever. But I thought, am I willing to just allow her to have her journey in this class and go through the process and learn it and figure it out without having to correct or be like, no, actually, it should look like this, or actually, you should be doing it this way? I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting thought I was having this morning.
Hmm. I think that also ties into what we're going to talk about today, where Brittany said it's more difficult to take our kids than it would be to just leave them at home, but they're not going to know anything. So it's better to do the hard thing, right? It's
Yeah.
better to challenge yourself and do the hard thing because you're going to be happier on the other side of it. So,
Yes.
what are we talking about today?
Well, we were actually thinking, we always bring you stuff that's very like relevant that we're dealing with in our life or that we're seeing in the industry. We work very heavily in the coaching industry. We work with a lot of personal brands. Of course, we work with lots of different businesses, but really helping people bring their brand to the surface. And Ryan, what are you doing?
I'm back.
Oh my goodness. You guys, all of a sudden Ryan's screen goes blank. Ryan has like a touch of ADD, everybody, and he'll just fidget all the time. And I'm like, what? And it's so distracting to me. Anyway, so today we're really going to be diving into um, what we refer to as the coaching industry, but it's really like the online digital space. So if you have programs, if you're a speaker, an author, coaching, like an online type of business, there's some really a lot of like red flags that we're going to talk about today. Specifically, something that we see business owners as they're trying to scale or trying to hire different positions in this industry, you see less of people hiring employees. Maybe an assistant, having an assistant or something like that is an employee, but most of the time, it is going to be that people are hiring 1099 contractors. So, for example, a lot of people in the industry hire us, and we are our own company, our own entity, and they hire us to provide a service. And we see a lot of that. People hire people for ads, for paid traffic, paid media. We see people hire people for us, like we do funnels, websites, landing pages, marketing strategies. So we handle a lot for our clients. Sorry, man, my nose is itching. If anybody's seen this on video, oh my goodness. Um, we handle a lot of stuff, which is really cool. And then people will hire maybe for certain projects. We see a lot of people in this industry go to coaches or people who have a big brand and try to pitch their ideas. And what I see a lot is that people have ideas for things that sound good, but gosh, I have yet to see people deliver results. I don't think I have ever in any business that we've ever seen where and God, I've seen it in so many businesses where somebody comes in, they're like, I would love to do this project for you. And you're going to make so much money on these leads that are just sitting in, or these people on your, that are coming in on your social media. And it never fricking pans out, which is so funny because, right, like I come in, I have made, the thing is, I have an excellent track record. I have made a lot of people a lot of money with the different programs and things that I've come up with. But I don't promise results. I'm like, I will come in with some strategies, but like the sales pieces and stuff on the back end, I'm going to do everything I can, but you're going to have to partner with me and we're going to have to really make this thing roll. But these people just promise like the sun and the moon, and it really sets them up for failure. Like it's a bad business model to even talk to people like that you for sure are going to make them a huge return.
Well, I think it's challenging as an owner because a lot of people are selling the golden ticket, and we all know there's no golden ticket, right?
No
It's
golden
it's
ticket.
no, but a lot of people are selling it, and a lot of people are buying it because that's what they want. And if it's a good salesperson on the front end, they go, "Yeah, this sounds really great. I'm going to do this. Maybe this is
And
it. This is it."
you know what I notice a lot too? Sorry to cut you off, but these people who are selling this shit, they say a lot of buzzwords like, I'm in alignment with what you're doing and I just feel it in my soul and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, get like, just stop with the buzz phrases or, we're really going to turn this thing up and then we're going to pour gasoline on it and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, we're going to scale. We're going to monitor. We're going to track your KPIs. We're going to introduce some new KPIs. We're
We're
going to
going to
get
give
an
you a
ROI.
dashboard.
Right? It's like all these acronyms and all these words. It's like, okay, I get it. Like, whatever. But Brittany and I are probably two of the most uncorporate people there could possibly be. Right?
Yeah.
We've
Like I
never
remember
been
being like, what's a
corporate.
CRM? What's a KPI?
Yeah, we've never been corporate. We don't like corporate from what we know of it. That's just not who we are. Like, we're
No.
small business, right? We are
Yeah.
boots on the ground. We are sometimes the owner unclogs the toilet. Okay? Like, it
Well,
is
but
what.
I think that's what makes us so great at what we do is because we're like the corporate way is like, this is in my scope of work. And I do believe in having boundaries, but I also believe that if somebody is going to pay you hard earned money, you go above and freaking beyond to do a great job, earn their trust, get results, communicate well. And so I think that's what really sets us apart, to be completely honest.
Well, and I think we've gained much more by our ability to just get in there and roll our sleeves up and get to work. I think we've gained far more by doing that, which some people would look at as not having boundaries or maybe like, oh, they're taking advantage of you. The benefits of us doing that for the character that we've established in this business and just the reputation that we have far outweighs the negatives, which is, you know what, I had to pick up the phone at Sunday night and I didn't really want to, or I was at a soccer game and I had to type up an email or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? So it's like those benefits much, much outweigh the negatives of that you could ever think of that for that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a big believer too that like, we were just downstairs a little bit ago and we were at a good stopping point for stuff and Ryan and I were going to do something like we were going to sit down and do something together. But then I got a message that came through for a new person in a company that we're contracting with and she needed something. I was like, "Hey, I'm just going to run upstairs real quick." But imagine if my mentality, and then here's the thing though. So I took care of what she needed so that she could continue to do her job. Now imagine if I didn't get back to her for a couple hours. So she was in a pause. Well, now the company actually isn't, making the headway that they could be because I was like, I'm not going to answer that right now, or that's not my job. It's like, yes, of course, let me help you so that you can continue doing the work that you need to do. So, and then here's the other thing is that when you show people in a company that you are supportive, you are responsive, you are on the ball, you figure things out, you will become the most important resource and person in that company all day long. Because this is why we outlast a lot of people. We see people and companies come and freaking go because people don't last because they can't actually keep up with the work. They eventually show you who they really are and they burn out or like they are all like, "Well, that's not my job." The fuck? Like if somebody tells me that's not my job, it's like, "Okay, I see what kind of person you are." Like
Mm-hmm.
like if it's being abused constantly and then it's like, "Hey, I'm doing a lot of stuff that's actually outside of the scope of work and this is turning into a much bigger project than I think we originally thought." I would love to look at that and kind of show you what's going on. And so we can renegotiate my compensation. That's a much more adult and professional way of handling that versus like, well, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, what the hell are you like? Are you really that fabulous?
What
Crazy.
we've seen a lot in this industry is contractors come in and they have a big shiny offer, right?
Yeah.
And a big fancy price. And so a lot of owners, I think, are look at it and go, you know what, I'm making money. I want to go to the next level. They have
They
a
talk a good game.
polished product. They're a great salesperson. It's going to cost a lot of money, but I'm willing to make that investment because I want to go to the next level. I
Yeah.
would say I was going to say 9 times out of 10, but I think it's more than that. 9.5 times out of 10, right? These people flop. They don't.
Yeah.
And Brittany and I come in and we're like, hey, listen, we are not flashy. We don't know all these buzzwords. Like, we're not going to come in and wine and dine you and do all this stuff. Like, we're going to get in there and we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to get the F to work and see what's going on in this business. And
Yeah.
that has, I mean, and now we have clients that have been with us for a while and they're asking us instead of like they don't have a good taste in their mouth like well that really didn't work out but can we try something else, they're like, how can we work with you in an increased capacity, because
Yeah. Can I pay you more money and will you do more?
what we've done so far has been very good. It feels good, it looks good, it is good.
Yeah.
Like, how can we expand this relationship? So
Yeah.
that's where we're at. And I don't say that to brag.
Hmm.
I mean it is really cool that people think that about us, but I think it's because, I mean, I'll speak for myself. Brittany, you can talk for your. I like to do things simply. Here's, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people probably know this. I didn't even go to college. Right? I thought school was
Yeah.
stupid. You know what
Yeah.
I did? I got to work. So that's just kind of how I've been my whole entire life. I just get to work, and I figured out 2.5 years ago. If you asked me what a CRM was, I'd be like, I don't know. Is that some type of a Honda dirt bike? Like, I've never heard of a
Yeah.
CRM, right? But I've heard of a
Yeah.
CR250, which is a
Yeah.
joke. My dirt bike people get that, but it's like, I don't know what that is. Oh, now I do know what it is. And it's
Yeah.
like, I can figure this out. This isn't that complicated, right? You just get in. We just get in and get the F to work. And we'd
Yeah.
let our results do the talking. We do not promise and underdeliver, right? We don't promise, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we can do this. Like, we have an offer and we say, this is what we do, right? We come in
Hmm.
and we present an accurate picture of what we're going to do. But then once we get in, the owners, these people that hire us, are like, oh, this is how they are. So I
Yeah.
think I would say that we probably have a very good reputation in the industry for they get shit done.
Yeah. And you know what? And this is really, as you were speaking, I thought, what is it that kind of gives us that edge, which I think you alluded to a lot of it. So I want to present a couple things because Ryan and I were joking before this because it's like we could go off on a rant and just bitch and drag people through the mud, but we really actually want to bring you value from like a business perspective. And so I want to share this from two different perspectives. So if you're a contractor or an employee, one thing that Ryan and I both grew up doing a lot of was working and doing a lot of inconvenient work, meaning inconvenient hours, inconvenient jobs, bosses that really expected a lot or, required a lot of you. We worked a lot. And when we had little kids, we worked a lot. This is like the first time in my life I've ever just had one thing going, which is the revenue agency. I always had multiple things going. And I was laughing to somebody the other day. I said, man, I remember doing sales calls when I was building my Optavia business and changing diapers. But I was so hungry to build something, to learn. Like I was always willing to be inconvenienced. Ryan and I will say that we are never afraid of taking on something else because we're like, yep, we got it. We got it. So I think having that attitude and work ethic has been a huge benefit to us. And that was something that we've had since we were kids. And I know that, my parents are very hard workers. And I was laughing too to Ryan the other day because I said, my parents, like we went on some vacations and stuff like that, but it wasn't like we did like a certain hobby together. Like the thing that we did together as a family was we worked and we always had a project. And that was a quality time I spent with my dad was helping him build things or being around their business every day and just seeing them as those entrepreneurs. They instilled this work ethic in me. And I think that if you're a contractor, do not like if you have a work ethic and you're responsive and people can get a hold of you and you're willing to figure it out, there is people will always like keep you around versus if you're unresponsive, blah blah blah, like not that hard of a worker, like very strict with your boundaries, but maybe you have like a really great skill. I think work ethic and responsiveness and resourcefulness will always outweigh the benefits of you being like so smart and educated. So that's what I love, right? That you're like, I didn't even go to college because I think that's probably, and maybe not anymore, but has that been like a thought in your mind? Like, well, am I really like, am I as smart as these other people? Cause I didn't go to college or I'm not an IT guy or I don't work in that stuff. And you guys know what's hilarious? This is something like Ryan said where he's like, I didn't go to college. Like, I think Ryan was one of the first classes in high school to maybe have a keyboarding class,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
We were the first class that required a keyboarding. That's what it was called, keyboarding, for
yeah, yeah,
credit to
like learning
graduate.
Homebro and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing is now is we sell CRMs and Ryan sets them up and goes through all the things and gets their texting approved and all this stuff. And so now that's another product we can offer because instead of having um a concept that well he's not a computer guy or he has instead that work ethic and that resourcefulness outweighs that and he says I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm a smart guy. And we can learn anything. So you never want your first answer to be like, I don't know how to do that. It's how can I figure out how to do that? We are learning new stuff in this industry every single day. But do you know what that has done? That has expanded our offers because we continue to learn, we continue to get better, we continue to figure things out. So pay attention to the needs of your clients and see where you can expand into different verticals within your company and be able to offer more services because a business owner would so much rather do more with one person that they have a great relationship with rather than have a bunch of different people that they have to manage and pay and do that. So that's what we've really done in our business and we continue to do that. So from a contractor side, that would be my biggest piece of advice to you is really, don't overpromise. I'm a big believer in under promise and over deliver because that is a really great way to build trust with clients.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a fast way to lose trust is to say, "Oh yeah, I can do that," and then it's like the deadline comes and it's not done. And you're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do it. I couldn't figure it out." It's like, well,
Yeah.
why didn't you just tell me that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Or
And
where versus like, I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. I'll get back to you. And then it's like,
yeah.
hey, figured it out, got it done. They're like, oh wow, awesome. What else can this
Yeah.
person do for me?
Yeah, exactly. And so I think I forgot to tie this in is like I was saying, we are not corporate. Like corporate is we need a meeting, we need a document, we need a this, we need a that. A big piece of what we do is structures and systems. But right, like Ryan was saying, I make things really simple and he's excellent at that. And I think that the corporate mentality is we need a meeting, we need lots of time to decide, we need multiple people to agree, and blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you know about corporate? It takes forever to get something done. Ryan and I are all small business. We're like, you good with it? We're good with it. Let's roll. And then we get things cranking so much faster because I'm a big believer in compressing time. Like, I don't want to get on a Zoom meeting when I can be working on something. Like, I don't need to have a meeting to have a meeting. But I think a lot of people have meetings and messages and this and that because this busyness
Mm.
makes them feel important or like that's what they should be doing. It's like, we don't need a meeting. Like,
Well,
why are we wasting our time? Like, either you can get your time back and go do something you need to do or have white space or get work done. It's like, we don't need to meet.
I
We don't.
think meetings and messages and all this communication is just a false sense of actually getting something done. It's like a meeting's not
Yeah.
getting anything done.
People think, oh, I'm being productive because it's a work meeting. It's
It's
like,
like, no, you're not. You're
yeah.
not. Like if it could probably be an email, right? More
Oh
than
man.
likely. Um, Sometimes meetings are necessary, but I don't think that much. I
Yeah,
really
I
don't
think
think that
like
much.
a
It's like
touch
get your butt
point.
to work. Like start
Yeah.
get something off your to-do list.
Yeah, communication is important. Letting people know also from a contractor side, like if the person that hired you has to say like, "Hey, what have you guys been doing?" Like why would the person that's paying you have to manage you in that way when you're the business owner of your own business, like as a contractor? Like you should be updating your client. Like, hey, just wanted to let you know I got this done. This is what we're working on next. I'll let you know when it's finished. Blah, 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 blah. This is how we're tracking. This is our metrics. It's like if somebody is communicating with an owner like that, the owner's going, awesome, awesome, great. Okay, sweet. It's just, I think that also speaks volumes. So that's the perspective from a contractor. So that's from like our perspective, things that we have felt have really helped us in this business. But now let's talk about it from the owner side. How can you avoid these types of people? And because we have been through so many, haven't we, right? Oh my gosh.
Been through a lot in probably every um, different capacity in this industry.
Oh man. We've
Video
seen different
people,
ads
email
people.
people, ads
Oh
people,
gosh. Yeah.
CRM people, you name it. And we've seen them come in and then they go out. And then
Yeah.
somebody
So
else
let's
comes
just
in and then they go out.
let's break down. Okay, the first one. I think this is the first type of thing I ever had vendor that I ever had experience with where it was this kind of situation years ago, but it was an ad guy. And he was telling this owner, "Well, I'm getting you in front of millions of people and blah 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 blah." That's called
Impressions.
impressions. Like, "Oh, all these people saw it." Guess what impressions don't convert to? Clients, money. If you're investing money for paid traffic, you need to make sure that it's set up and the person running your stuff has such an understanding of a sales and marketing cycle that they understand how to get those leads into your pipeline and that they're qualified so you have somebody that you can call and sell your services to.
We're looking
I
for
don't need to be in
conversion.
front of a million people. I would rather be in front of 10 very qualified people any freaking day. So that is something that you can kind of think about. The other thing is people sell really expensive SEO. Like, oh, SEO, and we're going to do this and we're going to monitor it and blah, 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 blah. But it's thousands of dollars a month plus ad spend and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I have seen that not really play out.
Well,
It's
it
different
depends
if
on,
you're a local company. Like, it
I mean,
depends on the business. But for the coaching industry, no. Do you know how people are going to find you? Not fucking Google. That was one of my favorite things that Ryan Stewman like called somebody out on. He's like, nobody's fucking Googling me. They're finding me on Instagram or Facebook. Like, if
mhm.
you're in the coaching industry, your social media is your Google. That is what you need to be really investing in is your social media. So SEO, all of that shit does not do a whole lot like on your website. Like, is it important to think about it? Yes, we do some SEO optimization when we build people's websites from an organic standpoint. But in the coaching industry, you don't need to pay somebody to run SEO. Like it's just I think it's a complete waste of money.
I
Um
mean, if you're an HVAC guy and you're in Plano, Texas, I think
yes.
there's a strong argument for
Yes.
you want to be at the top of the list when somebody, Google's air conditioning's broken. Boom, there's your name. Like
Yep.
that makes sense. But for
Totally.
personal
For the
brand
coaching
space,
industry? Oh,
it's a
no.
waste of time. So if somebody's pitching you on that, go, bro, I'm good.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I got
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that is something that we have never really seen pay off. But and if you're thinking about hiring somebody for ads, if you're looking for somebody, I have two people that I've worked with that are both of them are absolutely amazing. They have different wheelhouses. So, but if you're like, hey, I'm actually like, reach out to me or Ryan, we would be glad to connect you because these are people that we've worked with for many one for years, the other one months, and we have seen these people get really great results, and they're so thorough. They care so much about the owner and the company, so gladly connect you with those people. But it's really something you need to watch out for. um the other pieces, so what other video, guys, video
Content.
reels, all of that stuff, you can spend so much money on that stuff. And a lot of people are like, oh, we're going to grow your account. Like, I would ask for, if you're, and I think that's a great investment. If your business is in that place, it's a terrific investment, especially in the coaching and personal brand space. But I would say, show me metrics of people that you have worked with. And I want to see how
And
long it took.
timelines. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
timelines. How long did it take you to scale? What were their follower account when you started? What were their metrics when you started working with them? What is it now? Like, how, what was the action? Blah, blah, blah. Because if somebody has a big following and then they pour gas on that fire, they're probably going to scale pretty quick because they're
Hmm.
already well known. But if you're starting a brand new Instagram account and you're thinking of putting money into that, that's kind of tough. Like, you need to organically grow and then pour gas on that fire. But I'm more conservative. If you have the money for it, freaking ramp it up now. Like, that's a
Hmm.
great use. But definitely get some referrals and get some metrics and stuff, because of course, just like I would, they are going to show you their star client. I would ask for people who are in your specific industry that they've worked with, the metrics, the timelines, and I would say I want to see three different examples of how people grew. I don't just want the best case scenario. Like, I want to see like the true blue data.
Hmm.
um yeah, so that's definitely something too. Would you add anything to that?
I don't think so. Well, as an owner, I would, just like Brittany said, I would get some referrals, like actual data of people. And I think she said this, but like make sure that if this guy does, again, HVAC guys in Plano, Texas, like this is his specialty, he might or she might not know exactly what you need in the coaching space. Or vice versa. If this guy's only does coaches and personal brands and speakers and authors and you're a plumber, it's
Yeah.
like, maybe try them out, but on a like a probationary period. I'm big on probationary periods for owners hiring contractors. It's like, we're gonna try this because I like you. I think you're good at what you do. You've shown me some examples of how you could do this. And all that being said, we're going to just do this on a probationary period. So, like, I'm going to
Yeah.
try it out. And if it works, great. And then we'll either dump more gasoline on the fire or, hey, it didn't work out. All the best. And we're going to find somebody else.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll find too that with different people you work with, also there might just be like personality issues where you're like, I don't really enjoy working with this person. Like, depending on, like, maybe their results are okay or whatnot, but like if there's red flags there where you're just like, I don't really like working with this person. I'm a big believer in hiring slow and firing fast. Usually people have that the opposite way. They hire fast, fire slow. But if you have an indication with somebody where you're just like just release them. Release them. And this goes for two. Sometimes we have to do this with clients. So back, if you're in that, going back to like if you're a contractor in the space, if you have somebody, I mean, it's hard when you're first growing because you're kind of like any revenue is good revenue, but sometimes what the amazing energy exchange that can happen is when you release that person that's really bogging you down and is not making you feel good, it's incredible what can happen. I recently had to do this, and the person's a good person, funny, whatever, but there was just a few things for me. I would say they weren't red flags, but yellow flags, and just like little things that kind of kept coming up. And I've been really working on um trusting my gut and my instincts and not just being like, oh, Brittany, you're just, maybe you're just mad today. Maybe it's hormones or whatever, which could be the case. Like, let's be real. But I just kept having anxiety about it. And it just, some things just weren't aligning for me or how I like to do business. And so, um, I was like, hey, we're going to end our contract. This doesn't feel in alignment with how I like to work and how this flow is going. And, that was it. And I didn't love it because it was, thousands of dollars a month that as we're a growing business was kind of like, oh man, I really hate to lose that. But then do you know what's so cool? That same day and the day after, I closed triple what this guy was paying me in a month. And it was like, okay, I'm on the right track. Like, so you really got to listen to your gut on some stuff too, and don't ignore that when you're working with people.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's good. Like, I mean, I'll just kind of reiterate what she said. It's hard to turn down money, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's also good to be in alignment with what you're trying to do. And if it isn't in alignment, it's probably best to just let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of other contractors that we see get hired in coaching companies, that we've seen. I mean, there's a lot of people
Well, there's
love.
strategists.
Yes, strategist,
Hmm.
which is hard because, I am a strategist, but from a much bigger perspective than like a one project kind of thing. I have seen multiple people come into businesses where they have one idea of like a certain funnel or a course or email campaigns or basically something that they say they're going to do to bring in leads and bring in sales to your business. Um, but what's hard about that is they make these promises without fully understanding your sales cycle, the capacity to support that action. And let's get real. Like, we are not in the days of like click funnels anymore, like being brand new. Some people would probably hear that and go, that's not right. I'm doing all sorts of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But they're also dumping $20,000 into ads. I'm talking about organically pushing funnels, or a course or whatever. Now, we have had massive success with certain clients with master classes, but their business is in the correct position for that to be successful. And also, like when we started doing master classes with Craig Siegel, he didn't have like a big sales team or anything. So guess what? I don't do. I don't offer this in my company, but I've done it in the past. Is I could sell. I could sell at a high level in a coaching company. So because I was so all in for our clients, I helped out on the back end of that and freaking sold people. And he saw that I was a true collaborator and a partner in his business by doing that because I was like, fuck, this is not convenient. This is not what I signed up for. But you know what? I really want to see this succeed. So I freaking got in there and helped out. So, but the thing is these things, these projects can seem like fun ideas, good ideas, but if somebody doesn't have a real grasp on your company and where it's at, it's kind of stupid to promise these kind of results. So that's a red flag for sure. If you see somebody that comes in with, oh, I have this funnel idea or this course, or, we're doing these PDFs and these people are making thousands a month on this PDF that we're running ads on. It's like, it kind of sounds like bullshit. I
Yeah,
have
kind of sounds too good to
yet
be true.
it's yes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like I have talked about clients that I created one program for and created six figures within 90 days. Now, could everybody do that? Absolutely not. That is not a fit in something that I could promise in every single company, market wide. No, but he was in the position. And the dude effing works. The
That's
dude effing sells.
I was gonna say
So,
that. Yeah, we can
yeah,
only do we can only move the ball so far, and then somebody has to take with it and run with it, and that's the owner. The owner needs to
or
get
sales
on,
team.
or sales team, yeah, wherever kind of a position your company's in. They got to get on the phone and they got to close business, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not something we offer. Like Brittany said, we can do it, but that's not something we offer. So that's that's no.
Yeah.
One another
But
thing I want to say these
yeah.
to caution these owners is when we talk about these contractors coming in, and the contractor is like a one size fits all, right? They're like, okay, you need to have this subscription, you need to have
Oh
this,
God, don't
we
even
need
get
to
me
do funnels this
started.
way, we need to, and there's a little bit of that that's like, okay, this is our system and this is how we do it. But then we've seen it so many times where we come into these companies and it's like, oh my goodness, your stuff is in so many different places, so many different subscriptions that like we just gotta like stop, like start getting rid of stuff before we can even move forward, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like we have a subscription for this community and a subscription for this and a subscription for that. And it's like we need to downsize all of this stuff and just go to one or two different things that we're actually using, one, and two, actually generating revenue from. Because there's
Yeah.
so many things. It's like, well, we have that, but we don't really use it. Or I mean, you know how I mean, everybody knows how it can
It's
be with
30 bucks here, 50 bucks there, 100 bucks
yeah,
there.
next thing you know, you're
Yeah.
$1,500 a month in subscriptions you don't even use. So it's like if
Yeah.
we immediately get rid of that, it's like so not only do we help people generate revenue, we also get in and help people like clean up their bottom line.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that they're like, oh, we did this and there was a project we needed that for, and we did this, and it's like let's
Yep.
consolidate all this stuff. Let's bring
Yeah.
it back to like center
We've done
and
that with teams as well. Like I remember, coming into certain companies, we've done this in multiple companies actually, where we've like interviewed everybody on the team. Like, what is your role? What is this? Like on a one-on-one. And then we watch the work. Usually within 2 weeks, Ryan and I can have a very good grasp on what the team is doing and what these people are doing, how they work, how effective are they. And usually there's recommendations of like, we can consolidate this. These people are overlapping. One of them, their positions can be um, liquidated. What's the right word? Like that can go. And so just saving entrepreneurs money
hmm
right from the get-go, because our biggest thing, and probably because we've just been so involved in business our whole life, is we don't want to just ask them to spend more money. I'm like, I want you to get a return on your investment with me. I want to bring you results. I want to show you that I'm worth the investment. So yeah, it's like you don't need that person, you don't need this person, you don't need that, these can go. We're going to bring everything into one system. It's like a very minimal cost. It's like people even here's the thing too, is like these different softwares like Kajabi will be like, "Oh, we're a CRM and we host courses and blah blah blah." And it's like 300 and some dollars a month or something. And it's like it's shitty. It's like, is anybody even watching your courses? And, all these different things where we can put all their stuff into a CRM for $150 a month, and they can have courses, membership portals, which would be equivalent to like what school is, and school's 99 bucks a month. So it's like, get rid of that. You can have your own community, you can have courses, you can text, you can email, all this stuff. It's like you don't need MailChimp, you don't need these text things. Like you can do everything in this one system that's $150 a month. So, like right there, we are putting everything in one place. There is one login, there is one communication system. You can also invoice from it, keep your books, everything. And it's like, get rid of all that other shit. So, that's a huge way to save people money as well.
simplification. I think. I mean, I said this earlier, right? I'm simple, right? I don't try to do things fancy or complicated. Like I like simple because simple works. Everybody can get on the same page with it. It's like it's not confusing. So we're not trying to teach everybody, okay, well, with this one you have to do this, with this one you got to do that. It's like this is how we do it. It's it's easy, it's simple, it's cut and dried. Um, so
Yeah,
that
but that's a frustration
yeah,
because, you know, I think probably what can be one of the most frustrating things for us is if we're working in a company and then another contractor comes in, it's like, well, you need to do that. It's like we see these red flags and we're like, oh God. But,
well,
it's
we
like,
one of our clients the other day had a person that has a big project they're working on. They came in and they're like, we need to do this, we need to do that, and I told them, I go, no, we're not doing that. And it's like, oh, we're not. I go, no, we don't need that. Forget that. I go, it's just
yeah,
these extra subscriptions, and they're like, okay, good. Yeah, let's not do that.
yeah,
Exactly. We don't need it. Well, this
you don't
person's
need
telling
it.
me we do it. We don't. We
Yeah,
don't need it.
don't.
Forget it.
Nope.
We do
Yeah,
it. They don't.
exactly.
We don't do it their way. We do it our way. It's I mean, this is for an owner, but
Yeah. Yeah.
people
So
try to get too. They
too
get too like
complicated.
spread out. It's like
Yeah.
let's just focus here.
Yeah. Bring everything into one place.
Bring it in.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a lot of times too, is what we've found is that a lot of people's businesses are not in the position to scale bigger yet because all these systems are spread out. They don't have the team to support. People don't have clear roles. And what we found in the coaching industry is people build a business because they're great coaches. They're great with people. They didn't necessarily get into it because they want to run a business. Well, what Ryan and I love to do is we love to run businesses. We love to build structures, run businesses, keep things really efficient and streamlined so that the business owner really loves their business more. Because a lot of times, like people in the coaching space, they don't love admin work because they're people, they're visionaries. They don't like admin work. They don't want to manage people. They don't want to deal with bullshit. They don't want to be on a bunch of meetings. But what's great is that Ryan and I can take that load off of them. And because we love to build business, we love to build teams. We are totally fine managing people and supporting them, and putting these infrastructures in place. And then when you have a really solid foundation and everybody is clear on the vision of the company, that is when you can scale. And
Mm-hmm.
typically, what we've found is to come into a company and get everything in place. It takes, wouldn't you say, probably depending on the speed of the team, anywhere between 30 to 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And
And how big the
then
company is.
depending on how big the company is, and then we can scale.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to scale first, your systems are going to break. You're going to lose clients because the communication channels and all this stuff are not in place. And, or there's too much manual work having to be done, too much communication to try to figure out what the hell's going on. So you want to make sure that your systems are in a good place before you can scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, step one, organization. Step two, figuring out exactly which lane you're going to pick to run with. And then step
Yeah.
three, pour gasoline on it, man.
Yeah.
And
And,
then
it
go.
goes back to that thing where we were saying that people come in with, oh, these strategies and shit. And Ryan and I were talking actually in the beginning of January and getting extremely clear on how we help people and what our process is. The very first step for us is auditing the company from like a marketing and systems perspective and a sales perspective, because we understand all of those lanes. A lot of people don't. So we kind of have a special like ability in that way, but it's not, we don't go, ooh, let's do this project, but I have no idea what the company's like or what the team is like, or is there a sales team, or how does the flow of communication work? We get in and we audit, we understand, and the branding and the marketing and all that shit is like step 4, but it's like there has to be all these other things in place first. And so that might seem like not, it's not slower, which is funny because we've seen people come in and go, oh, I've got this great idea, and they spend 6 months with the company and they get no results.
Zero
So it's a
results.
complete waste of everybody's time, money, energy, resources, all this stuff. But it's like the way that we do it really is effective. So
Yep.
yeah.
At this point, we've done it so many times that it's like we have the whole entire system like mapped out. Step
Oh
one,
yeah.
step two,
We
step
have the
three, step
blueprint.
four,
Yeah.
step five, step six, whatever. Eventually you get to the gasoline step, and that's the fun one. But you have to do I mean you can't build a house without a foundation, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it takes a little bit of time to make sure. And maybe it all lights are a go and it come in and like, oh, yep, we
Mm-hmm.
are good. You're just lacking some strategy and ideas for programs and like where the revenue gaps are. And then we can jump in and go. But that has yet to be seen.
Yeah, what did I
So,
hear the other day? The first thing you have to do for a skyscraper, right? Everybody can imagine a skyscraper in their head. The first thing you have to do for a skyscraper is go down, right?
dig
You got to
very, very
dig
deep.
you got to dig down to the rock and then start going from there. So
Yeah.
that's really what we like to do.
Yeah.
And it's fun because then when everything starts happening, I mean, you get busy, right? And there's a lot of stuff coming in and everything's firing and working and it's like this is fun, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff we did on the back end. So fun.
Yeah. And it's exciting. And everybody loves to see that when the dollars start to be generated, because in the coaching business too, it's like every dollar that comes into that company is because somebody is raising their hand and saying, yes, I am ready to become a better version of myself. And I'm ready to invest in me and learn. And then on the business side of it, you have to make sure that when somebody buys into your company and your vision and what you're teaching and coaching on, what we make sure is that your back end is going to be able to help support delivering a really great product, and that it's clean and it's professional and it feels like a really high like luxury experience.
Hmm.
That's our specialty for sure. So
What what we hear
yeah.
a lot of people say is it's like, oh man, it's like it's so nice working with you because like everything just flows, right?
Yeah.
It just flows.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the experience that we love, because what we love to do is we love to set up businesses to scale. And we love to really free up owners to go do what they're great at. I mean, we do what we're great at so they can go do what they're great at. And that's an incredible partnership and collaboration. So I think just to kind of like wrap up with final thoughts is that um, take your time when looking at people to hire. If you're an owner, look for some of these red flags of like over promising. Not any one person is going to be your golden ticket. And same with, if you're a contractor, like some clients are, like a big fish, right? And they have a lot of connections. So there maybe is some things that you could see as like a golden ticket in some way, but there's not a golden ticket in the sense of it's going to be easy. It's always work to build a business and be an entrepreneur on the owner side and on the contractor side, right? Because building businesses is that's hard. And that's why most people don't do it and why most people fail. So if you can be resourceful and you can be responsive and you can have a get it done attitude, I think you'll be okay.
You can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be some tough days, but they're going to make you stronger.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you next time on the Revenue Agency Podcast. Bye.